first game after obviously the devastation of Sunday, I guess how did you think that they really kind of locked in and focused on a new goal starting today?
It gained momentum. Sunday, no one could hardly speak. Monday, didn't feel like we could actually get a real practice, so we shot and talked a lot, Yesterday, I thought they did a pretty good job. I thought you could see that, they're bouncing back a little bit. We kept it really short, maybe too short, but I could see that some of normalcy was coming back, and then today, shoot around felt fairly normal, and their look today was pretty good. Not normal, but better than I was kind of expecting. Thought their effort was very good. Played tremendous defense. Nicholls they average 79 points a game. I think they're one of the highest scoring teams, top 25. Got one of the best scorers in the country. They play fast. They're hard to guard. They went to Purdue and hung 90 at Purdue, for gosh sakes. They went to Wisconsin and lost by 3. We looked at those things like, these guys are pretty good. They're old, they're talented. So I was thrilled with our defense. I mean, if you'd have told me before the game we're going to hold to 58 and 35% shooting or whatever, I thought you're crazy, really. But the two factors, I think they're very good offensively, and I didn't know if we would, play defense as hard and tough and cut in as we did. So I'm really proud of the defense. Offensively, we missed a lot of shots. And is that because, psychologically they're not all the way back, or just one of those nights where you miss shots? I don't know. I thought we missed a lot of wide open shots that we normally make. I think we're 4 for 23 from 3. We're a very good shooting team. We probably missed, 4 or 5 layups? Probably, at least 4, I think. So from an offensive standpoint, the ball didn't go in the basket, but the best wins are when it doesn't. When you shoot 30-some% and you win, those are great. Glad to get past this. Had we shot the ball better, we would have felt a lot better about offense. But I also thought we were very stagnant. We didn't execute. Our concentration on offense was not very good. I give Nicholls partial credit for that. They're disruptive. They're very disruptive, and so they helped that. They helped us look worse, but at the same time, we could have done better. But I'm just thrilled to get past this game. I hope our guys will, continue to gain back to be who they really are. The full team, the real team that played all year long. I hope that we're on the way to do that.
How's Kendrick feeling in the last few minutes? I think he was sitting a little bit.
No, he's fine. Yeah, just it was defense. It was a defensive. I was trying to get some size, on. I know numbers. I need to know names. Carter was great. Carter was kind of, he had his way in the game, and felt like we needed to get some size there. Zurich did a great job, and E-Man did an amazing job. He guarded the 9th leading scorer in the country and held him to maybe no field goals. The 2, I know one of them was against the zone when we went to zone, and he hit one. I can't remember with the other one. I don't think he was on in the other one. So basically, he did an amazing job. The guy's had 34 of his last 6 games, and E-Man holds him to it's not 2 for 15. He didn't make them on E-Man. So unbelievable defensive effort by Emmanuel. Incredible board effort by the Twins at 6'3", 6'5". They got a double-double. Frank was great. So good enough to win. Good effort. They were there. They were cut in, but they weren't themselves. I could feel that, and that was a little disconcerting in the second half when it's getting close, and I could feel we don't quite have the normal pop that we do, but we got some competitors, and down the stretch, they just turned it up a notch and really started guarding when we needed to in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Was this maybe one of the bigger, if not the biggest, gut check games kind of the season, just with everything that's gone on in the last, 4 days?
One of them, yeah, one of them. you know, how do you deal with devastation? You know, how do you deal with incredible heartbreak? And that's what we talked about for the last couple days, and you know, maybe a little more philosophical about how many of those are coming in your life. That this will be a nothing compared to some of the bad things that come. I'm old enough to know some of the really, really, really tough things that get thrown at you are nothing like, well, you didn't make the NCAA, you only made the NIT, which is a great prestigious tournament of all time. I mean, if that's your worst thing that ever happened, you've had an amazing life. I wish it was mine, but you know, but talking a lot about those kind of things, and you know, if you're someone that can spin negatives into positives in your lifetime, and you're going to be pretty happy, and you're going to probably be pretty successful. So those kind of things talked about, and you know, I hope they resonate. But at the same time, you know, I am sympathetic to what they're feeling, and it was not a day or several days when I felt like cracking the whip is the answer to this. It's about, you know, talking and caring about each other and complimenting what they've done and those kind of things. So glad we got past the first game. I hope we gain momentum. We will need to. Our opponent is a tremendous team, tremendous defensive team. So we'll have to get some momentum.
Along those lines, getting back to the team that you coached all year, is that something that is simply going to be a product of time, or is there something you and your staff can do between now and Sunday to try to help revive your guys?
Well, I think we already
get a little
have,
sharper?
honestly. You know, I think we've done as much as probably I feel like, you know, at some point, you know, enough talk. We've talked enough. We've expressed enough. And I think we pretty much use that up, and it's time. Players play, you know, coaches coach. Let's compete. Another thing we talked about is, you know, if real competitors, and this goes for today, you know, a real competitor. I mean, if you play pickup ball and you're behind, I mean, a real competitor starts, you know, changing. Like, you can't help it. If you're a real competitor, you can't help the fact if I'm getting beat, I'm not okay with this. Even though I'm heartbroken about I wanted to be in that pickup game over there, but I'm in this one over here, but still I'm on the wrong end of it. Real competitors will fight out of that, and that's what I felt like we would do today, and they did that.
It's a busy season. Do you know, have you watched any of Washington State?
No, I intentionally never do, because honestly the reason is because I used to do it a long time ago, and you can get in the middle of a game, you're thinking of an action or something that they might do, then you're like, wait a minute, is this team or the other team? Because you get so much, you know, there's out of bounds plays and the action they run, or they get, well, no, that was, and that's not good. So I never do that. Our staff definitely has, and they were kind enough to enlighten me not too long before this game that Washington State is an incredible defensive team, great shot blockers. So I really enjoyed that. That was a great way to look forward to this game and what's to come. So I know they must really be good defensively, which is not to say they're not really good offensively, but you know, we'll have to shoot the ball a lot better. I can tell you that for sure.
From the outside, Frank seems pretty quiet, maybe just quiet with us. But after the Vanderbilt tip-in, he went pretty crazy. You know, was pumping up everyone, was going nuts. Is that normal for him to be that kind of energized?
Yeah, Frank. First of all, Frank's really bright, really bright, and he's got a big heart, great energy, great teammate, great talker on defense. He's one of the best talkers, which is a talent. He makes your defense better because he's a talker. So from that standpoint, he's anything but quiet. So if you say who's maybe our best talkers on defense, Frank. I'd probably call Frank number one. I'd have to think a little bit, but I think he'd probably be the leader. But he can be quiet at times, his normal personality, but he's fun to talk to. He's got a lot of good thoughts on his mind.
coming off a game like this with this offense, going into a game where a Washington State team that has a really good defense, how important is your defense? Because shooting might have an off night. I know a lot of coaches like to say that defense never has an off night. So how key will be carrying that defense over for you?
Without watching him, extremely. So all we're going to have to do is play great on defense and pretty darn to really good on offense. That's it. That's the formula. But yeah, they're talented. That guy. I know they talked about a few of their players. So, but you're right. We'll have to play incredibly hard, because no matter how well we play, I'm sure it's going to be anything but easy to have a. We're not probably going to have a great offensive night. It's just not going to happen against great defensive teams. So you hope you score enough. You hope you're tough enough on defense. You hope you don't give up very many easy baskets. You hope you don't give up many extra possessions through offensive boards and turnovers and those kind of things.